The second round is in full swing and the action increases from game to game. This is where the contenders are separated from the pretenders. To give you some skin in the game, DraftKings will be offering free-to-play pools every day of the basketball playoffs, offering players a free shot at the $10,000 in total prizes. That's up to $10,000 in total prizes up for grabs each day. And the best part, it's free to play. DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to enter. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, and choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. All you have to do is answer a handful of questions around what you think is going to happen during that day's basketball games and track your results throughout the evening. Questions will range from which team will hit the most free threes to which team will score first. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use the promo code THPN when you sign up to get your free shot up to $10,000 in total prizes every day of the basketball playoffs. Head to DraftKings pools page and get your shot at huge cash prizes. That's promo code THPN for a limited time only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for full details.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCVP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCV podcast presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Just having a good time right now. Hanging out.
Summer's in full effect. Chicago's back.
Chicago is back in a big way.
How was that working, as you said best, essentially all the holidays rolled into one?
Sucked. Just so fucking busy. Dude, I just wish everybody should realize, everyone please realize that when you go out to eat, not every restaurant's 100% completely staffed. Nothing's back to normal. So the fact that like everybody bitches about something taking a little bit longer, it's like, yeah, man, there's a lot less people that fucking work here right now. So relax.
Oh man. Yeah. I was feeling for it, especially watching the Cubs and seeing them at 100%. I'm just like, God, all those people probably filing out. And
did you see on Sunday, they had like the longest cup snake I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. They were saying that it was like, they were equivalent to about $30,000 worth of beer.
Yeah, and the best part was that it was on ESPN, so it was nationally broadcast. The fucking cup snake, it was so great.
I was watching the game, and immediately after, Bucci was interviewing Rizzo, and he was asking about the cup snake, and Rizzo was like, "Yeah, man, I was kind of hoping they were going to get it up to the second deck of the bleachers over there."
God, could you imagine being like one of the people that's trying, like, helping out with that, and just having your arms up for that long?
Oh my God.
Like, no, I would not want to do that at all.
Yeah, the best thing I saw was like a screenshot of it, and they were just like, Chicago's healing.
Chicago's healing. It's getting back to normal.
But yeah, so after last week of very little Hawks talk, we got a couple things to talk about here.
Yeah, just a couple, two, three.
A little bit a minor one. Has not fully Blackhawk, but a couple Blackhawks. We're over in, was it Switzerland for the Worlds?
I don't know, man. I did not pay attention to it at all.
So I forgot where they're at, but
somewhere in Europe.
Canada wins gold again.
Yeah.
Started 0-3, I think, too. In that.
Yeah, I was reading the little article about Gallant, and about how he coached Canada for that, and they went 0-3 against like Latvia, Germany, and Switzerland.
There were so many upsets in that tournament.
I can pull it up real quick just so we can be sure. Latvia, Germany, and the United States. He lost the first 3 games, and then they squeezed into the playoff because then Germany beat Latvia or something like that, and I don't know, Canada just automatically makes it.
Just run around there, and they knocked Canada or the U.S. out in the semifinals. So, but yeah, the reason we're talking about it is Hagel, Beaudin, and Blackhawk legend Pirri all come home with some gold. Yeah. What a great like end to the I think that's officially like the end of that season for hockey for Hagel. Like,
yeah,
it's like officially like now he's on his summer break and all that. But man, what a year for the kid.
he's been popping up a lot on like their Instagram and stuff too. Like they're kind of pushing Hagel, which is great. I fucking love the kid.
Oh God.
It's like I think they posted something today, and it was like Boquist, Hagel, and DeBrincat. I think they were wearing like, you know how like the Cubs have like the Wrigleyville like
Yeah,
city series. I think it was something to do with like the Chicago Fire, like some soccer like jerseys. But I was just like that. I was like, man, Hagel, he's all over the place. The Hawks love him.
Pay
I'm
the
glad.
man.
So you know what? 8 years, 8 years, 2.5 mil. Let's go. Just would that be a $20 million contract?
That's a steal for Hagel.
Yeah, no, that's a I don't know. Please, I would love that though. Just give him an 8-year deal. Yeah, it's Hagel, Boquist, and DeBrincat. They're wearing. I'm pretty sure that these are
the Chicago
Fire jerseys, but they have like the CTA on the bottom, which is kind of cool.
The girls, the Chicago Stars or whatever.
Oh, the Red Stars. Okay, that's cool. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, because Kendall Coyne's a part owner of that.
Yeah, and Brinksy's all over their fucking Instagram all the time.
It's hilarious looking at this because Hagel, he doesn't look that big.
Yeah.
Like, he's a skinny dude.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's out there going crazy. And you know what's great? Actually, because I was browsing Reddit and I didn't write it down, but there's a guy on Reddit that just posted. Okay, I actually have it up right here, but he posted all of the 2021 regular season fights, and let's see, it was posted by Sharkhawk 23, and oh no, shit, that's the Stanley Cup winner. Never mind. There's another. What the fuck? It's got to be.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
It's right here. Okay, it's Jay Confer 04. So I was like, oh yeah, like they didn't have that many fights, and then it got to Hagel versus Line A. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he just throws two rights. It connects with both of them and drops him to his knees. And that's the day I was like, sign Hagel.
I know. I was about to say that was the day the city fell in love with Hagel, or at least our group did.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The kids fucking earned it this year. Like, I really hope they get him on just a long-term deal and not like a short 2-3 year contract that ends up.
I almost feel that it's going to be a short contract. I mean, with
what they always try to, I don't know. Like, I think the way he plays is going to be more sustainable than like the deal they gave Strome to put up points. Like, Hagel's out there just to disrupt shit, and then he puts up points because he's like all over the place.
I could probably see him going. He'll probably sign for around maybe like 1.5
for like 3 years.
Yeah,
I don't know. If I was Hagel, I'd be like, nah, dude, just give me $3 million for 8 years.
No,
like, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's that opposite. If I'm Hagel, I'm like, let me sign short, do this again, and then we get fucking paid.
True.
But
true.
Yeah, so good for him. Good for Beaudin. I think that's great. I know it's not really the same compared to like, NHL style hockey, but you know what? Winning hockey, it does for somebody. It boosts.
There's still professionals in those tournaments.
Yeah. So
Lukas Reichel was in it with Germany. Fucking Kubalik was in it. Was Suter in it? I thought he was. Maybe not. I mean, Hawks they had guys in there, but like
they had a decent amount. I can't remember who.
That's all right. Well, anyway, like since I brought up Lukas Reichel, guess what? He signs his ELC.
3 years, 925.
I'm sure there's probably bonuses involved too.
Gotta be. But
like, I mean, we have the cap for it. Like, who cares? Just have the bonuses in there. Like, I'm really excited to see how he can play.
He had a great year. I'm pulling up his numbers again really quick.
Yeah, they said that on the Hawks website on their article, that he was second on his team in scoring, or he was in top 5 on his team in scoring as the second youngest player on his team.
Yeah,
and then second in the league with players under 20 or 23 and under. And I
So
was like, it's pretty fucking good. And they won the championship too.
in 38 games, he had 10 goals, 17 assists for 27 points. And then the playoffs, he had 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points in 9 games.
That's pretty good. Playing 18-year-old playing against a bunch of grown men.
Yeah.
And it said that he had switched to center this year, where when he was drafted as a wing.
Oh shit. So that's, I mean, that, do you think he said something like, hey, let me I see you up the middle in Chicago. Let me get some minutes up here. And
I mean, in the article, they were saying that Bowman and Colleton are very excited to see that he has that kind of versatility, which is fantastic. I mean, if the kid was drafted based off of like his playmaking ability and vision, like having him in the center would be fantastic.
so right now looking at the roster, you have obviously you have Taves, Mackenzie Entwistle, Kirby Doc.
I like how Mackenzie Entwistle was the second name of the players that you're going to name for the Hawks.
I'm going from, because I started in the LTIR and I'm working my way
up.
I
know. It's just really funny to be like, we got Taves, we got Entwistle, then we got Kaner.
Gaudette, Camp. Oh, we got a lot of guys listed here as center wingers. Hinestro's a Carpenter, Strome.
But like true center, it's like I feel like the Hawks have been struggling to win faceoffs besides like Taves for the longest time.
True centers, we got what? Kirby and Taves and Gaudette.
For wait, what?
For true center?
Camp.
Oh, I mean, he's listed here as a center right wing.
I mean, that doesn't matter.
I know.
You can put anybody anywhere, but like who takes the most faceoffs is like Camp takes the most faceoffs in the defensive zone. Taves takes them everywhere.
I got a lot of questions about Camp, but
Doc usually takes faceoffs everywhere.
Save that for maybe like off season before like contracts are coming up. But I'm just curious what you think Camp's worth to this team, because he's an RFA this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I think he's great to have as a defensive forward, especially when he does things like shut down or helps to shut down like a Connor McDavid. But I really just don't want the Hawks to end up doing a Kruger and paying like $2.5 million for a fourth line center.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to put up points. He only had 12 points last year.
He has a lot of offensive opportunities that does not finish.
He's like the sharp sod snake bit, and like he hit a couple posts, and then after that it was just game over.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, he like played all 56 games this year. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I mean, even with the roster that we have, like I'm curious to see how they're going to try and fit Reichel in, or if he's going to spend time in the AHL just to like get. I would say, I mean, clearly depending on his like training camp, but I'd be more excited to have him start in the AHL and get used to everything, and then just don't want them to start like pulling guys too soon, and then them just like ruining their development by like not being able to play as well as they hope they would in the NHL.
I kind of like the idea. I know because I sound like an idiot in our group text one about it, and when it hit me that he's not a junior player. So, but I still don't hate that idea. Give him a couple games up, see how it goes. If he's clicking, yeah, keep him up. If he's not, then send him down to the A's to adapt a little bit.
Kind of like how we did with like Ian Mitchell this year.
Ian Mitchell. I mean, I know it's a different situation with how we did with Saad when he was first coming up. Like he played the first couple games and showed potential, but he wasn't clicking, so they sent him back to what was it, Saginaw Spirit,
and then he scored like 9 goals in 5 games. It's just like, oh yeah, I guess maybe he doesn't need to be in the CHL.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm very excited too, and I think that's gonna really depend on what goes on with the expansion draft, and if Stan is able to move Strome. Like, I don't think it's a secret to anybody that Stan doesn't want Strome on this team anymore. Like, it's very obvious that if it's doable, I think the trigger's gonna get pulled, and Strome will not. I don't think he's a Blackhawk next year.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think they're gonna do whatever they can to move him. Scott Powers did like his list of who his hearing the Hawks are going to protect. I can't find it, but I do remember like he did have Strome protected, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, was that recently or is that kind of like a little bit ago? Because
I want to say it was last week.
Oh, I remember seeing something about it on The Athletic, I thought, where they were talking about like you got to keep Strome because he has this playmaking ability that you don't just find anywhere. And it's like, okay, well, does he know where it's at?
Yeah,
because he hasn't been able to find it the last like couple seasons, really. Like, it'd be great if he busted out that magnifying glass and just took a hard look around.
Yeah, I gotta send it.
Whatever. Fucking yeah, man. Kirby Reichel, welcome to the show. That'd be fantastic if he comes in and just becomes like Leon Draisaitl 2.0.
Did you do that on purpose?
Do what?
Kirby Reichel.
Why? Oh, I did say Kirby Reichel, didn't I?
So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, was that on purpose?
No, Lukas Reichel. Oops.
I'm like, oh shit. I'm really pronouncing Lucas. Like, is that how you really? They Germans say Lucas?
Yeah, that's how the Germans say it. Yeah, no, there was a guy that was it? I thought it might have been Kirby Reichel or something like that. That was a draft pick of like, I don't know, a while ago. But he was always really good in like the NHL video game, and he just never panned out in the show. And yeah, I don't know why. You got Kirby Doc, Lukas Reichel, Kirby Reichel, whatever. Who cares?
It's gonna be a good 1-2 punch of first round picks. Not a big deal.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this year too. Maybe we get 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So the last little Hawks tidbit I think we kind of want to talk about real quick is this past, what was it, Thursday? Wednesday was the 11th anniversary of the 2010 Cup.
Yes.
First off, I can't believe it's been 11 years already. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
Holy shit. We're getting old. Like I still remember that game. I almost missed it because I couldn't get it home from work, and I was pissed about it. And I got home just in time for overtime to start.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So that was fucking brutal. But the infamous, we posted on Instagram and just asking kind of like what was some of your favorite moments, and like obviously the most infamous one was the Patrick Kane goal.
Everybody knew it was a goal.
Everybody,
that's the thing.
Oh yeah, totally.
I love seeing the like videos of people inside of whatever Philadelphia's fucking rink is, and just videotaping, and then Kaner goes wild, and they go, "What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Did we fucking lose? Did they just fucking win?" It's just like, wow. Okay.
I think it's Chilana Hockey on Instagram said Kane's goal reaction. It gave him some inspiration to how to sell a goal in a pond hockey tournament they played in. So was a big moment there. Another big moment that a lot of people talk about. Ethan Parker 16 said October 12th, 2009. And if you're not sure what that means, our buddy Vito said the 5-0 comeback against Calgary.
I've been saying this 1,000 times too.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
It's true. His favorite moment too, and I think, and even though it's so early in the season, when it comes out, when we did that draft Dynasty by the Decade episode for DraftKings, when that comes out, I think it's in July. Yeah. We talked about how that was a game changer right there that season. It was so early on in the year, but that was the moment that really hit home that this team can do anything.
They're going to win it all. Like the previous year, they had just gone to the Western Conference Finals after not making the playoffs the year before. And like, then they got beat by a very good fucking Detroit team that had Marian Hossa on it.
Yep.
And then it was just like, okay, then we acquired Hossa and like, we're like, oh fuck, like this is going to be a good team. And then it was just so early in the season, as you said, October 12th. So that's like week 1, week 2 against Calgary. They go down 5-0 right away. And you're like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Like
we national TV too. It was
like we just made it to the Western Conference Finals. This team is on the way up. And then most of the time, like any time that happened previously, I'd be like, fucking this game's over. But with the way the Hawks just were playing, you're like, I'm gonna watch the rest of this game. And then it's like slowly like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're like, okay, sounds good to me. And then
So
Big Daddy Seabrook fucking ends it.
Here's the score sheet. So the 5-0. Then with like 2 minutes left in the first period, John Madden scores with assists from Cam Barker and Andrew Ladd. Second period starts off Patrick Kane from Dave Bolin, Brian Campbell, Dustin Bufflin from Patrick Kane, Dave Bolin from Patrick Kane, Brian Campbell, Patrick Sharp from Duncan Keith, Andrew Ladd. Like those names right there, like holy crap. Like I don't know at the time if you realize like how big of names these guys were, but like now looking back at it and seeing like what this team turned them into, it's like it's insane like what we had.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so hard to comprehend that many guys on one team and just the pure domination they put, and it sucks that they couldn't stay around past the season. I know Geek said that. Bolin said that too when we talked to him. Like they all said how that was the team that they wish they could have played more with.
Yeah, only if they had fucking qualified, offered their fucking RFAs like the year before, or like 2 years before, instead of having to overpay their underage players. Like they're under 26 players. Like that's the dumbest fucking thing.
Oh man,
that was a huge fuck up.
Fought Jarom and Tanner in that game.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like when you look at like the role players on that team that became like captains of other teams, like Andrew Ladd, Dustin Bufflin. I'm pretty sure Brouwer had like an A at one point, maybe in Washington or in fucking St. Louis.
And here is kind of another topic that somebody mentioned here. Jake McHale, who I played high school hockey with, he said Niemi was unreal. And I think too, this was kind of like his, I don't know if this is truly his coming out party and like, hey, I'm legit, but I mean, he came in and shut the door on this team. I mean, he still allowed 2 goals in that, but I mean, 2 goals on 15 shots is a lot better than 3 goals on 5 from Cristobal
Huey. All I remember from Cristobal Huey is nothing that he did in real life. It's the fact that in the NHL video games, whenever he made a save, the announcer would go, Cristobal looked into his crystal ball and got that one. It was the dumbest fucking thing.
Oh man, I feel like he didn't get enough love. He didn't get enough love because Niemi kind of stole everything. But yeah, so Niemi we kind of talk about this. Like, was Niemi really good, or was the team around him good?
He was Grubauer 1.0, like I said.
I mean, here's his lines, man. 26 wins, 7 losses, 4 overtime. I'm assuming overtime losses. Goals against, 82 shots against, 934 or 936 for a 912 save percentage and a 2.25 goals against with 7 shutouts.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty good stats. But I mean, the team itself was also allowing the least amount of shots against per game and having the most shots for per game. They had like one of the best penalty kills, one of the best power plays. Like the team was just stacked all around.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, 39 games and he only saw 936 shots.
Jesus.
Like, just for comparison, he played 43 games in 2012, 2013 with San Jose, and he faced 1,220 shots.
So in like 4 more games, he had like 300 more shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that whole team was just dominant, and it's a bummer that they broke up. We weren't able to, well, by choice, but they weren't able to stick around together. But yeah, 2010 magic moment. I know if a lot of people listening to this, it was probably the start of their fandom too. So that's a special team for a lot of different reasons for a lot of people. And for us, it was finally seeing our team win after years of sucking. And for us, it was like the birth of a fandom or a love for the game, and going strong ever since. I mean, it's been a rough couple of years, but I don't see it lasting much longer. You got pieces like Reichel and coming in, and Kirby DeBrincat showing up.
Yeah, DeBrincat's about to fucking be captain.
Leak. God, our defensive.
Ooh, we haven't done our European signing of the offseason yet, so we'll see who comes in.
Yeah, who won the MVP in that league?
Yeah, exactly. No, who was it? The MVP or the leading goal scorer?
Oh, leading goal scorer.
Possibly. I mean, we got to get another one. Can we just go with the leading defenseman?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, whatever the Norris version is of their league. Like,
yeah, get a defensive defenseman.
As long as it's actually defensive defenseman, not offensive defenseman.
Yeah, we don't need none of that.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps up Hawks talk. Unless you got anything.
Fan awards. Fan choice awards. There's only 2 Hawks ones, and Kaner for best celly. I think Kaner's just always got the best cellies, and like his cellies have just become like really like downplayed, but very emotional, and just kind of fires you the fuck up when you just see him scream just like "Let's go" or like "Let's fucking go," and just like that kind of shit.
If the phrase "Let's fucking go" had like an image, it would be Kaner.
Yeah. Ooh, which reminds me, because when they did their Blackhawks Instagram recently. I sent it to you guys in the group text, but they had done an edit of the Taves to Kane double OT winner where he does the heartbreak celly.
The 20 conference final.
Yeah, and the edit is just they actually create the heart and then he fucking explodes it, and I'm just like, that's amazing. It's very well done.
Yeah, it was a good one.
We'll have to everybody's gonna have to check that out. Like that's amazing. And then the other thing that the Hawks have is it's just best mascot moment, which is Tommy Hawk with his pregame rituals with Kaner.
So
I don't think they could really do it anymore because Kaner's gonna end up hitting somebody with a puck that's not paying attention.
Oh yeah, but he was doing that to make up for the fact because Kaner would always toss a puck up at the UC, so they were just making up for it. So I think Hawk will gladly give that back over the fans.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So yeah, go vote. Let's get the Kaner.
Yeah, make your vote count.
Was it vote or dive?
Vote or die. Yeah, what was that? 2004?
Or I don't know elections anymore.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's the only thing I remember from that time. Thanks, Kanye.
And Mike Myers' face is kind of jeez.
Yeah. Oh, that was Hurricane Katrina coverage. Never mind.
Oh man. All right. NHL talk here. Let's where do you want to start?
Steven Johns retired.
Yeah, so that was
former Hawk. Didn't really play much for the Hawks.
No, he got dealt to Dallas. After sharp trade that brought Trevor Daley and was it Garbutt?
Yes, Ryan Garbutt.
Yeah, Garbutt. Yeah. So he only ended up playing 167 career games, 15 career goals with 33 career points. He missed all of last season due to post-concussion syndrome. And then he was out for almost like 2 years or a year and a half.
Yeah.
It was like post-traumatic headache syndrome, which essentially just like concussion. It's obviously, I think it's concussion related, but
oh, absolutely. It's just like very like severe, like concussion issues. Like not like constantly concussed, but like how basically I would assume how like Sidney Crosby was out for like a whole season.
Yeah.
Just like worse though.
So he was making the choice to hang it up, which I just, good for him for realizing that it wasn't worth it anymore.
It sucks because he's only 29.
Yeah. And he had a lot of he was a high up prospect too. And I think
second round pick in 2010 from the Hawks.
I think he was part of that. The reason he was a part of that trade was because Dallas was kind of doing us a favor by taking Sharp's contract on.
Yeah. Well, he was actually one of our top prospects at the time, I'm pretty sure, for a defenseman. That's literally what we did at the time, was to get rid of some contracts and stuff like that. We were like, here, you can have one of our top prospect defensemen. You can have one of our top prospect defensemen. And it's like, Jesus Christ, getting rid of everybody. I just he was also a tough guy to fucking play against too. Yeah. Just watching him play on Dallas when we were playing them, nobody would get by him. He's a big fucking guy. I wish we would have had him.
He's exactly what this team's missing.
Yeah. 6'4", like 220, 230. Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, it's a sad, but, like I said, good for him for realizing that it was time to stop. And he's doing something too, he announced with it, like a cross country journey. Oh, what was it? I gotta find this article again.
Okay. I didn't read into it. I just saw that he was retiring. That was on NHL discussions Instagram.
He's become, I feel like, an ass for not knowing this, but he was dealing with like suicidal thoughts and extreme depression from this. So I think he's doing something to bring awareness,
like mental health awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That makes sense.
But oh man.
Well, I mean, speaking of mental health awareness, they're going to do the King Clancy Award announcements tonight, which is what we had mentioned with like Curtis Gabriel, PK Subban, and Pekka Rinne. I read more into it when I briefly talked about it when we were talking about like, the awards, and I believe Curtis Gabriel he's nominated for it because he's like been very vocal about being like positive in the gay community, but he also helps out with mental health awareness because his dad had killed himself at the age of 10. Ouch. And so he's been pushing a lot of that as well. It's just like it's pretty like hard shit to like go through as a 10-year-old. Like, I'm really glad that they have players like that in the NHL though that
exactly
are very positive in that kind of a way, like they're pushing that kind of awareness.
And it's good. I mean, like, I'm glad they got an award to kind of like recognize it now that these guys are doing that for that reason. But you know what? Right. Guys need to be recognized for the cause of them. And not only does it like, show what they're doing off the ice, but it's bringing more awareness to these causes because the NHL is going to be talking about it and it's going to get like coverage on that from the league. So, I mean, that's fucking awesome. Kind of pulling for him now.
Dude, yeah, honestly, if you read the article on NHL.com, so like just quickly, he uses his social media accounts to amplify and educate fans about the LGBTQ plus community, like the causes and events and stuff. Then he also is a strong advocate for mental health awareness. And then he also supported a Black Girl Hockey Club and will auction off his skates for the Sharks Foundation during the Juneteenth auction from June 17th to 19th. And proceeds are going to diversity-focused nonprofit organization. It's like, damn, Curtis.
Yeah, he's got everywhere.
You come out here and fucking fight people, and then like of course, like the fighters are always the greatest guys off the ice.
I think we've said this multiple times on the show. Like the goons, enforcers, the bad guys on the ice are the ones that are the biggest hearts off the ice, and they're the nicest people in the world. Like Bob Probert was one of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for him. And I do like the Subban thing too. The Blue Line Buddies.
Yeah,
he's trying to like bridge the gap between law enforcement and youth, and try to like show like end that stigma against the two sides and all that, which is a huge thing in this country. And then Pekka Rinne was interacts with cancer patients and Make-A-Wish Foundation. So he really does a lot of work with that. He also fundraised events for Parkinson's disease and was a big part of the Feed the Frontline initiative, which the Predators did for COVID-19. So 3 amazing causes. And
I mean, the crazy thing too is like that's only 3 players, and there's plenty of other players in the league that do a lot of charitable things, but they're all there's a lot of players that get noticed for a lot of the shitty things they do, and I think the players like this don't get as much recognition as they should. So it's good that there's, like we said, it's good that there's an award for that. Yes. And I think they're going to give that out during the Montreal and Vegas game tonight.
Awesome. Well, yeah, definitely. If you have any interest in any of those, causes or anything like that, definitely check these guys out and look into what they're doing. So yeah, we'll move on to the other news that dropped today. Gallant is going to the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
Great pickup by New York.
I mean, I was questioning what they were doing with making those decisions because the team is looking like it's going to be even better and even better and even better. And like, we're going to fucking get rid of our coach. Oh, it's cool. We're bringing Gallant in though. Like,
Yeah.
like he's really fucking good. And it's like, yeah, okay, Rangers. I can see this.
That was the whole thing. Like when Florida fired him, the players were like, I don't understand why. Like he's a player's coach.
It's the same thing when Vegas fucking fired him. And then they brought DeBoer in. They fired him because Peter DeBoer got fired. And they're like, yo, Gallant, we like DeBoer, though. Okay.
I don't understand that, though. I would take Gallant.
He was so successful. He was so successful in Vegas. Like, I just I don't fucking get it.
I'm just kind of surprised. I felt like he was going to go for Seattle. I thought he was going to go and try to do it all over again and be like.
Well, I wonder if Quenneville's still going to try and go for Seattle then.
Yeah, so that
a better opportunity. It's right now Seattle and Arizona are the only teams that don't have coaches.
Oh yeah, because Columbus hired or promoted one their assistant coach.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so the thing with
Ryan Larson, I think was his name.
Yeah, and I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast and they were talking about that, and Steve Dangle pointed out, it's like, if you look at the official announcement tweet, go and read all the like comments after that. The fans aren't happy. One of the top comments after that was like, oh, there was like saying, oh, he's our 8th coach in franchise history or whatever. And the guy, one of the top tweets after that is, cool, I can't wait to see who the 9th coach in franchise history is.
Hey, do you want to tell who the 9th one is going to be already? Like,
but he was the one reason why Laine was getting sit by Torts. Like there was an argument between this guy and Laine. So it wasn't really like a Torts head on. It was Laine and this guy.
Oh my God.
But Laine was one of a handful of players that showed up to this guy's induction.
So Laine to Buffalo for Eichel coming in.
All right, should we go to that then real quick?
Yeah, why not, man?
All right. So this came out last week that pretty much Buffalo is done with Eichel, pretty much saying, hey, bud, you can't quit. You're fired. So before he can request a trade, I
can't believe that they're getting rid of their GM. It's crazy. Just fucking
and their head coach.
Yeah.
So I think that is probably best for both parties. I don't think Eichel ever wanted to be there.
No, like why would you?
Yeah.
What about this? Like kind of jokingly about like the Patrick Laine thing, but I mean, if Seth Jones wants out, Patrick Laine is not going to be too happy anyway. Seth Jones and Patrick Laine for Ristolainen and Eichel.
I think Seth Jones wants to go to a winning team.
Yeah, but Seth Jones does he have a no movement clause or like no trade clause?
It's a minimum.
It's just a 10 team no trade.
Yeah, 10 team. He can't. He will.
I mean, if Buffalo's not on that list, I think if you're both of those teams, maybe you fucking pull the trigger on that trade.
Modify. Yeah, he's a modified no trade. I don't know, man. The thing is with Eichel, I can't see a place that he goes that makes sense.
He's just not fit for this league.
I just I'm looking at it too, and you got to think about this too. He's got a $10 million salary.
Yeah.
So he's got a cap hit of $10 million.
What about like Taves for Eichel straight up?
Get
1-for-1.
Out of here.
You tell me you wouldn't do that if they were like, hey Chicago, can we just have Taves?
Eichel needs to stay as far out of Chicago. The only time Eichel should be in Chicago is when he's playing the Hawks. I don't think I
just think we could have the greatest American line in history.
Oh my God. You're
Eichel, Kaner, DeBrincat.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy right now.
It would be insane.
Don't be that guy.
Greatest American line in the history of hockey.
So what if this playoff shown that you can't win with multiple $10+ million players on your team?
But you can if it's Eichel and Kane and DeBrincat on a line. Oh, that's you telling me you wouldn't have that?
No, I wouldn't.
I would fucking do that in a second.
I think he's a
It's
guy.
it's not Eichel's team. It's Kaner's team. Like you don't just start demanding shit if you're here.
He's a cancer though, dude. I think
You listen to the best American-born player of all time, and then you create the greatest American line of all time.
I hate this because I don't know if this is a bit or if
I fucking actually am really psyched about it. I'm getting more and more jazzed about it. It's not gonna happen. There's no fucking way. There's
I'm like, you keep going into it. I'm like, I thought the conversation started as you joking around, and the more
if they pull it off, yeah. Oh God.
Okay.
Who needs a team, right? Toronto, who needs a full team when you can have the greatest American line of all time?
Realistically, you want to make this trade.
Yeah.
Taylor Eichel straight up's not happening.
I absolutely not. Taves is coming off a year that he just sat out, and he's going to be 34.
What does this team give up? Kirby Dach?
Their heart and soul.
Yeah, Kirby Dach.
Yeah, it would be like Doc DeBrincat, Lundqvist. Like 2 firsts. I don't know.
I rather them if they're gonna go all out like that. I rather them to call Toronto and kick tires on like Mitch Marner or William Nylander.
Keep Marner out of here. We have enough wingers.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, if we're gonna do some ridiculous trade, I'd rather
fine Kevin Lankinen for Connor McDavid 1-for-1.
Fine, I agree with that one. It really does need a goalie.
Real quick about Buffalo still. This is what I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you about. So first overall pick pretty much is going to be Owen Power.
Yeah.
He's a college player. What if he just doesn't sign in Buffalo and then just goes free agency route in like 2-3 years?
Oh my God. Yes.
How great would that be?
Has that ever happened? Is the first
I don't know.
Pick ever not get signed?
On like the article I read about Owen Power on the NHL.com, they were talking about how he's planning or he wants to spend next season at the college level. I was like, okay, what if he just stays there though? Because the last first overall player to not play immediately or just go back to college for another season was Eric Johnson when he was drafted by the Blues. But I was just like, what if Owen Power just goes, no, I don't want to be in Buffalo. He has that entire ability to just wait it out.
Oh my God, that'd be fantastic. Oh my God.
Do you sell the team at that point? You move them? They can't be here anymore.
What would be more Buffalo than for that to happen?
They would have to trade his rights. Like, there's no way you just give up that. Like, you just let him go to free agency. Like, you just have to trade his rights for sure.
But if he's also setting the table for like saying he wants to play next year in the college level, so Buffalo, all right, we're not going to waste it. We want to get a guy that can come in right now. Seattle takes him second overall, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to come. Let's go."
Right. Yo, fucking first Seattle draft pick ever, plays right away. 18-year-old Owen Power just leading the blue line. Oh my God.
Oh man.
That would be so fucking funny. And I mean, the other thing I was thinking too is like, let's say he does not want to sign there and get his trade rights. I hear that really good players in Buffalo that have like, and then the Sabres have like no say on where they can go is worth what, a second and a third? Was that what Taylor Hall was? Like, I would give him a second and a third for Owen Power's trading rights. Like, let's go, man.
Blackhawks got the same.
I'd give him a first. I don't give a shit.
Blackhawks got the same return for fucking.
Yeah, Mark. Oh, dude.
What's even better is Boston's like, oh my God, we stole this. He's tearing it up. And then he just decides not to show up the second round of the playoffs.
Oh, Taylor Hall. Hey, they ran into a really hot Islanders team.
And then we didn't talk. I don't know if we even mentioned this. Taylor Hall gets an assist on the first overall pick because he played on fucking Buffalo this year.
Yeah.
So, can he add to the resume?
Everything that Taylor Hall touches turns into a first overall pick.
The dude needs to retire and just be done with it. Like he's
gonna join the front office somewhere, and the team's gonna consistently get first overalls.
They're never gonna win the big game, but you know what?
Oh.
He was already saying too that he's going to prioritize the team over salary. He said the same thing last year, and then he signed.
Isn't that what he did last year?
Yeah, 1 year, $8 million with Buffalo.
Oh man.
What if he resigns in Buffalo and was like, all right, guys, I feel bad. I'll resign with you guys. Get a couple more picks out of me. Get another second and third, and we'll call it even.
And a first overall.
So in a way, they traded Taylor Hall for a second round, a third round, and the first overall pick.
And a guaranteed first overall. I mean, yeah.
That's hilarious. God, I can't even think of anything more Buffalo than Owen.
If Owen Power just doesn't sign.
Yeah, at that point, the team's gotta like. I don't even think you can sell that team. I think the team just has to fold.
Yeah, just go back down to 31 teams. That's it. Just all those players become free agents again. You can only sign them for what their deal was actually worth.
They do sell the team, but it's not to another owner. It's to pay back all the Buffalo fans for the years of misery.
They cannibalize the fucking contracts.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Buffalo. And whenever your luck turns around and you start doing well, I'll praise you. But holy shit.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't even think about that, but now I've never wanted something more in my life.
Remember when Ottawa was like going to be like awful, and now they're looking like they're going to be on the upswing a lot sooner than Buffalo is?
Yeah.
Ottawa was just in the Eastern Conference Final in 2017, became the worst team possible, and then is already like not terrible. Like they finished pretty bad, but like their young players are playing well. Oh, Tim Stutz was sick.
That was another comment. They were talking about Ottawa on the Steve Dangle podcast, and they're like, "Yeah, Ottawa's going to be really good until the owner decides he's tired of watching this group of players."
Until they actually want to get paid, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about."
But that's the thing. They're laughing. They're like, "Why is it that they can pay these guys these big contracts, but you couldn't pay Mark Stone or Eric Carlson 2 years ago, 3 years ago?" Like,
no, homie, we're gonna hold on to Bobby Ryan,
who left Ottawa and now was tore it up with Detroit until he got hurt last year.
Yeah, he was doing really well. I was proud of Bobby.
Oh man, that's great. All right.
Let's just start the Owen Power doesn't sign kind of thing.
Dude,
Owen Power looking to not sign in Buffalo.
I'm so making that a goddamn social.
Ask everybody, like, if you were Owen Power and you saw what Buffalo was doing, would you sign there? Like, you don't have to. You can get drafted there and not sign.
Do you have to declare for the NHL draft like you do the NFL and NBA? Or is it automatically just there?
It might be like a Michael Scott thing where you just go, I declare for my NHL draft.
Like, I wonder how many guys top 5 picks were just like, oh shit, Buffalo. I'm going back. I'm not take me out. I'm done.
I'm not looking to come over yet from overseas.
I feel so bad for Buffalo fans.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if they get a good return for Jack Eichel, then we can watch whoever they got just kind of implode.
What are they going to get? Like 2 seconds and a third? Like,
they've gotten, like, Buffalo has got, ever since they got dummied into these John Tavares, like Robin Hood, or no, not Robin Hood, just Robin players with Kyle Okposo and Matt Molson, who played very well with John Tavares, and then they signed big tickets in Buffalo and did nothing. And then remember when was it Buffalo trading Thomas Vanek to the Island, or was it the Island trading Thomas Vanek to Buffalo? No, it was the other way. That was the only good thing that they did to the Islanders, was they traded Thomas Vanek to the Islanders for like a first or a second, and then his contract ended and he just re-signed in Buffalo. Like, that was the only good thing that Buffalo's done in recent memory. Other than, I mean, drafting Jack Eichel.
Transaction.
And they also signed Jeff Skinner for fucking $9 million.
So they traded Vanek to Islanders for Matt Molson, 2015 first round pick and a 2015 second round pick. And the Islanders traded him for shit.
Okay.
For essentially a second round pick.
Oh man. I just remember seeing that stuff. That was really funny. But yeah, Buffalo just getting baited into Okposo and Molson.
They traded Vanek for a 2015 pick in 2013.
Yeah.
At the start of the 2013-2014 season.
They knew something no one else knew about.
I still can't believe Vanek was playing as long as he was. 2018, 2019, he was still playing. I completely forgot about that. Damn.
I love talking about Buffalo. It's so fun. It just puts me in a good mood all the time.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about something that will never be in the same category as Buffalo, at least for the foreseeable future. The Stanley Cup final, semifinals.
Hey, watch them make it next year. They trade Eichel and they fucking make it. So Owen Power signs after his collegiate season. He ends up getting the Norris in the last 16 games of the year.
How about Cale Makar being a Norris nominee, and he's on his entry-level contract, and he didn't even sign a max entry-level contract?
Oh, I was gonna say you're making all these points, but Adam Fox is also in his second year.
No, I know. I'm just saying, Makar has been talked about as this amazing player, and he's in his entry-level deal, and didn't even get a max entry-level deal.
Which is weird because he was like an 8th pick. He was like an 8th overall pick.
I wonder if it's because he signed late, so he technically only signed a 2-year, I believe.
The other thing, just kind of in the same realm, I guess. How old's Makar right now?
Makar,
because they're just talking about Adam Fox too. Because Adam Fox is 23. He was a 3rd round pick by Calgary. He's on his 2nd year of his ELC. Because he got traded, he wasn't going to sign in Calgary, and so they traded his signing rights.
Yeah,
I don't know if they traded his. They traded it.
Cale Makar was a first round 4th overall pick in 2017.
He was a what? Sorry, I was reading.
He's first round 4th overall.
Yeah. Okay, he was a 4th overall pick. That's right. Yeah.
How does he not get off Matt's contract?
I don't know. Joe Sakic is like a fucking wizard for some reason. That's so crazy. Oh, I didn't realize this, but the Flames didn't trade him straight to the Rangers for Adam Fox. They traded Adam Fox to Carolina in the Dougie Hamilton trade. Michael Furland for Noah Hannafin and Elias Lindholm. And then I don't think he was gonna. Oh, did he play? Oh, he didn't. I don't think he was gonna play. Yeah, he wasn't gonna play in Carolina because Carolina was stacked on defense. So they traded his signing rights to the Rangers for 2 seconds. Which is, that's not too fucking bad. That's crazy. That's what happens. That's what happens when you go the college route. You can fucking end up going wherever you want.
He's like the exact opposite of VC. VC was the last player that kind of bounced around a couple places before officially signing, and now VC's been a fucking suitcase in the league.
Yeah.
I totally forgot he was in Vancouver now too.
VC? Oh, that's right, because he got picked up off of the waivers.
He was from Toronto.
Yeah. It's Toronto just ends up having not enough cap space, so they have to put people through waivers that are just gonna get stolen. It's like, all right.
The VC was what they're missing for Game 7.
That's what they really needed. A college hero.
All right, so the semifinals, you got the Knights past Colorado.
Yeah, everybody thought Colorado was just going to smoke everybody.
And I thought so too. So that means the streak of President's Trophy winners continues. The last time a President's Trophy winner won the Stanley Cup, your 2013 Chicago Blackhawks.
That's right.
So the curse is real unless you're the Chicago Blackhawks. So bow down to us.
Somebody on Reddit. I can't remember because I saw it a few days ago, but it was like when the Avalanche got defeated. They recreated the they recreated the Washington Capitals logo to say Colorado Avalanche because they can't get past the second round, and they're like a constant top tier team, just like how the Capitals were for the longest time until they finally broke through in 2017.
So Vegas gets to play the team that everybody knew was going to be in this situation.
The last team to make the playoffs this year and last year. This year and last year.
Montreal Canadiens swept Winnipeg because Montreal apparently is an absolute wagon.
Fucking Winnipeg joined two other teams that happened to where they completed a sweep and got swept. And one of those teams was last year's. Was it Carolina?
Carolina was last year.
No, or was it the Islanders? No, it was Carolina because Carolina
swept and then they got swept by the Islanders.
Yeah.
So Montreal Vegas kicks off tonight.
It's the classic Nick Suzuki against Max Pacioretty. That's what he was traded for.
We'll see who really won that trade.
Well, didn't Tatar was in that trade, wasn't he? Yeah. Thomas Tatar, Nick Suzuki for Max Pacioretty.
I forgot Tatar was on Vegas.
Yeah, they love him there. I don't know if he's still super beloved there, but they were really fucking high on him when he first got there. Because he did fuck all in Vegas. So he lost a lot of value. Let's see. I'll go to Thomas Tatar. Let's go to his trade history. Yeah. So it was Vegas got Pacioretty with $450,000 retained because it was 10% of his deal. Yeah. And then Canadians got Thomas Tatar with actually $500,000 retained. So they ended up eating some more cap, but they then gave him Nick Suzuki and a second round pick that was Samuel Fagemo. So yeah, they actually got a pretty good haul for Max Pacioretty.
See, Buffalo needs to learn something. You're able to get hauls for your good players.
Get a haul for haul.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah. So, and then the other side of the bracket, you got a rematch from last year's semifinal. The Islanders versus Tampa, and the Islanders actually have a 1-0 series lead right now.
Not too shabby.
So,
I'm really hoping that they pull it off too.
So are we all in agreement that we're hoping it's a Montreal New York Islanders Stanley Cup final?
East versus East? I'm gotta be jazzed about that. Yeah.
I would love to see Montreal.
Montreal's gonna win it all, man.
Dude.
Carey Price is insane right now.
I stick what I said. Whoever comes out of this conference.
Well, this game starts in 5 minutes too. Oh yeah.
Oh shit, better hurry up. So yeah, and then I saw the funny thing too is so this year's semifinal is just a rematch of last year's, or it's just the same three teams plus whatever team Corey Pirri is playing for.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing too.
Yeah, but
Corey Pirri, he's gonna be the new Marian Hossa. They're gonna lose it this year, and then wherever he goes next year, he's gonna fucking win it all.
I hope not. I really don't. That's the only reason why I'm kind of hoping if it comes to Montreal, New York Islanders, I'm hoping for the Islanders just because I don't want to see Pirri win.
I fucking love him. I love him because he's the perfect kind of pest where it's fucking hilarious. And he's not pissing off the entire league, just mainly the California teams, Calgary and Vancouver.
And now Toronto too.
Yeah, and now Toronto too.
So, all right, well, we're going to wrap this up, but realistically, does Montreal have a chance?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. It's the semifinals. Everybody thinks they know what is going to happen, and nobody fucking really knows. Carey Price is going to fucking watch them sweep fucking Vegas too. That shit would be hilarious.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. Be so great. But
then they go on, they sweep the fucking Lightning. in the could you picture that shit? They just sweep. They don't fucking lose a game for the rest of the goddamn playoffs.
Lightning's getting swept.
I would. Don't put that out there because that'd be so great.
Well, Dougie Hamilton, you saw Dougie Hamilton's comment about that, right? They're like, we lost to a team that was $18 million over the salary cap.
Yeah. When you plan it out that way, you know, like
another quick Dougie Hamilton thing too. Carolina Hurricanes gave permission to him to start speaking with other teams. So it's
working on a sign and trade, which is, I think, a fantastic fucking idea. Like,
let him do it.
It's a win-win for like certain teams, because it's like you put this package together on like what you're going to sign Dougie Hamilton for when you get like exclusive rights to like trade for him for an 8-year deal that you wouldn't get. And then you don't have to try and fucking sweeten the pot with everybody like in free agency. And then the Hurricanes win because then they're like getting assets back. Like, I think the Hurricanes, with anything that they're going to get, like you can get a fucking third, fourth, whatever. Like you get something instead of just losing a player.
The team's a wagon. I mean, whatever they're getting is just icing on the cake right now. So it's like, yeah, do what you got to do. If you're not going to be able to re-sign him, if it's not going to be realistic, yeah, dude, get whatever you can get. You can for him.
They have their defensive end is so fucking good that like losing Dougie Hamilton is not going to hurt them. They're just going to end up doing some shit when they'll be fine.
They got 11 defensemen. Yeah, granted that is including, because of the playoff roster, but still, Jesus.
They're going to be, I think they might end up being the favorites with the Avalanche next year to win it all. Especially if Nedeljkovic, well, he needs to sign a new contract, but he's still an RFA. If Nedeljkovic is going to be their number one and he plays like he did this year, fuck out of here. They don't have to sign Reimer or Mrazek. They can just sign a backup for that kid. And then that's $6 million going wherever else you want on the fucking team. Dougie Hamilton's almost $6 million coming off the books. Fuck me. I don't know. We'll see.
I wouldn't mind Reimer on the Hawks as a backup for Lankinen.
Yeah, that's not terrible. But last time we signed a Carolina goalie, didn't pan out all that great.
Yeah. But all right. So before we wrap this up, give me your Stanley Cup final. Who's coming in realistic in your heart, or who you want to see, or
who I want to see?
Pick whatever you want to see, or who it's going to be.
What it's going to likely be is Tampa, Vegas. What I want to see is the opposite: the Islanders and Montreal.
And I
just want to see Montreal just up.
I either want Montreal and the Islanders to sweep these series, or I want them to go 7 games. It can't. No middle.
No in between.
Sweep or full 7 games.
Islanders cannot lose 4 in a row right now. Like they have to win at least 2 more, and then lose the next 4. I don't care, but go 7.
Yeah,
win the next 3.
All right, so
I'm excited to see how Vegas will handle Montreal now. With Vegas played Colorado and who the fuck else did they play? Minnesota. Oh, okay.
The 7.
I'm just trying to think of what type of players they played, because Shea Weber is just a monster. Carey Price has been insane, and he's going to be the best goalie that they're going to have faced. And they had issues with Cam Talbot.
Yeah,
who played fantastically, but Carey Price has the best stats in the fucking playoffs right now. He's playing very, very good goaltending. Chef's kiss. Let's go.
All right, so
also when we were talking about or you guys bring up sometimes goalies being irrelevant, 3 of the top paid goalies in the league are still in the playoffs. Is that right? It was something like that. I saw. It's hey. That's the thing. You can pay the goalies, baby. It's all good. They'll take you far.
Goalie's still irrelevant because the Islanders can throw whoever they want in net and they still get it done because the team in front of them. Boom. Roasted. All right.
Boom. Roasted.
All right. So
roasted. Moving on.
140. What do you want to call it, Tanner?
Goalies are relevant.
I'm not doing that.
Owen Power doesn't sign at Buffalo Sabres.
Shorten it up.
What is it gonna be? Sometimes it just comes to me. Sometimes, it takes a minute. I don't know. Trade for Eichel.
Trade for Eichel.
Trade for Eichel.
Oh, you dick. All right. Well,
let's get him on the team. Oh, no. Not trade for Eichel. Best American line ever.
All right.
That's what it's gotta be. Best American line ever.
Line. All right. So
that's how you fucking hook them.
All right. So as always, make sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube where you can watch us in our amazing faces as we do this stupid shit. Social media at WCB Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Follow our network, the Hockey Podcast Network, Hockey Pod at Hockey Pod on everything, I believe. And DraftKings code THPN. And we'll see you on the next one.
Hell yeah, boys. Love ya. Bye.